Dirt Trax is sponsored by Can-Am. The ride says it all. Polaris, the world leader in off-road innovation. And by Yamaha. Conquer Outdoors.
CFMOTO is an emerging brand in the side-by-side and ATV category that's breaking the preconceived notions of a Chinese manufacturer. Recently, we had the opportunity to interview Mark Rivers, who's the CEO of CMI Canada.
The industry has a practice of having what they call the dealer booking conferences. The problem I have with that is it's become a place where dealers are told that they have to buy this, and their numbers are bumped in that every year. We're a small emerging brand out of China. We've withheld or withstood all of the criticism over the last 10 years. CFMOTO as a brand and as a manufacturer has built a global reputation for better and better quality and continuing to improve and to respond to the needs to change and improve their quality. So for me to compete, I need to become more important to my dealers. And in order to become more important to my dealers, I have to help them see a path forward that is more relevant to them, their life, their profits, their satisfaction than any of the other brands in the market. So this conference is not a booking conference. It is an invitation to join a ride with us. Come on a ride with us, where we'll be the most profitable dealership model in the industry, we'll be the most fun, and we'll be most fulfilling.
At the CFMOTO Canada Dealer Meeting, they showcased a few very special limited edition vehicles that might come to market in the near future.
But the intent is to give the dealers something to sell that is truly unique, that drives good margin for them, but drives great value and a phenomenal experience for the rider. Our special editions are designed to enhance the experience of the rider and give our dealers something that nobody else has to sell.
The CFMOTO Win Zone is a buy-in program that offers Canadian consumers a host of high-end offers, from free-to-use vehicles, should yours be in the shop, as well as perks from affiliate partners. The new CFMOTO trailer is a demo ride trailer like never seen before, and will be traveling across Canada to all major trade shows and events to share the passion CFMOTO has for the sport with consumers across the nation. One vehicle that really caught our eye was the ZFORCE Super Sport Edition that was built in conjunction with Susi International. With exceptionally clean and stylized rock sliders, front and rear bumpers, high-mount rear spare carrier, and aggressive sport roof and light bar, as well as tubular half doors, the accessories for the ZFORCE Super Sport are going to be in high demand for anyone looking to buy a new ZFORCE. Along with the Super Sport was the one-off, fully built ZFORCE 1000 race side-by-side, which we hope to see on the track in the 2018 season. Heck, maybe even we'll get a chance to race it at the 24 Hours of Latuke.
Dirt Trax is sponsored by Princess Auto, a unique world of equipment, tools, and more.
Textron's purchase of Arctic Cat is old news now, but what many people didn't understand about this deal is that Arctic Cat wasn't Textron's first foray into the off-road marketplace. Before Arctic Cat, Textron already had the Stampede line of side-by-sides, a product that was misunderstood by the majority of off-road consumers. So today I want to dispel some of the myths and rumors surrounding the Stampede product line and give the Dirt Trax Nation my first impressions of their two-seat flagship model, the Stampede X. Before I go any further, I do need to clarify though, this test ride is more about explaining the technical aspects of the vehicle and less about actual riding impressions. Those will come later when we've had more time to develop more solid opinions. So just what is a Textron Off Road Stampede X? Well, it's a sport utility side-by-side that leans a little more to the utility side of the equation and was designed and built entirely in the USA. This is not an imported Chinese or Korean vehicle. This sucker's American-made. Under the hood lies an 846cc single overhead cam parallel twin-cylinder engine that pumps out an impressive 80 horsepower. It's mated to a CVT transmission comprised of Team Industries clutches. In the short amount of time I've had to test the Stampede X so far, I can confidently say this motor is stout down low. It's got really good bottom end and clutching is incredibly smooth. What's interesting to note is that Textron is pumping out 80 ponies out of an 850 twin, which is something other manufacturers do with their ATVs, but don't do with their side-by-sides. In fact, if you look at its competition, anything that puts out similar horsepower will almost unanimously have 150 more cc's. The Stampede's chassis is sturdy and rides on double A-arms front and rear that produces a better than average, though not quite class-leading 9.5 and 10.5 inches of preload adjustable travel. The rear A-arms are canted backwards, which helps soften sharp-edged impacts, providing a smoother overall ride, and sway bars both front and rear instill cornering confidence even when the vehicle's loaded. The Stampede X we have here is upgraded with a bunch of factory accessories like a super beefy upgraded front bumper, front cargo rack, a winch, and all kinds of lighting. But the stock X model right from the factory comes super nicely equipped as well. Standard electronic power steering, 14-inch aluminum wheels wrapped in 27-inch Maxxis Bighorn 2s, shiftable 4x4 with turf mode, a huge digital gauge that provides a plethora of information including user-accessible diagnostic tools, a full-size 2-inch hitch receiver, and finally, a sturdy set of full doors are a nice inclusion on all Stampede models. In terms of interior, the Stampede offers a bunch of features nobody else does. For starters, these massive footwell openings make getting in and out a breeze, as does the full 39 inches of space between the roll cage and the seat back. Bench seating is comfortable, but seatbelts are only included for 2 passengers. Interior storage is good with lots of dash pockets and a lockable glove box, but what really sets the Stampede apart from any other side-by-side on the market is its extended cab. Behind the bench seat, you'll find this massive additional storage area. All by itself, it's great for hauling anything from a chainsaw to a cooler to the household dog. But with the addition of some Textron Off Road accessories, this space can be customized for so much more. Special attachments for vertical storage of long rifles, shotguns, and bows, an L-channel hook system for storing and organizing everything from clothing and gear to ropes and cords. The possibilities for this space are literally endless. The Stampede's cargo bed is pretty standard fare for a side-by-side. It's got 4 built-in D-ring hooks for tying stuff down, and it can haul up to 600 pounds. I'd say the only letdown here, and it's not a huge deal, is the double latching tailgate. This is a system I've never really liked, and I think a single lever latch system would improve the box's ease of use in a big way. So here's my bottom line on Textron Off Road's Stampede X. This is not some questionable quality underperforming import side-by-side. From front to back, this vehicle has been built with a careful attention to detail and lots of thought put into how it's going to be used. I wouldn't say build quality is on the same level as Polaris or Can-Am, but that's going to improve over time, I'm sure of it. What you get right now when you buy a Stampede is a powerful, sturdy, well-thought-out American-made side-by-side designed with North American users' wants and needs as priority number 1.
Dirt Trax is sponsored by MVRP Power Sports, race-inspired performance.
The 50-inch sports side-by-side category has been dominated by Polaris for many years. Arctic Cat brought in the Wildcat Trail, but since then it's been pretty quiet on the Western Front, in a category that's arguably the most important in the off-road industry. Well, until now that is. Can-Am's been a significant contender in the off-road marketplace and developing on a level of their own, especially in the last 2 years, pushing the limits of everything they make and producing products consumers want and are excited about. We all knew it wouldn't be long till a 50-inch sports side-by-side hit the market from Can-Am, and the anticipation has been nothing short of immense. So let's jump right in with Can-Am's global side-by-side product manager, Jean-Jacques Rivert.
Came in the side-by-side market in 2011, but when we introduced the Commander, and through the years, 2 years ago, we introduced the Defender, then last year the X3, and the natural next step was to introduce a trail vehicle since Can-Am's very strong in the ATV market, and there's a big similarity where customers really compare trail vehicles to ATVs. So the fact that Can-Am is very strong in ATV was natural for us to introduce the new Maverick Trail.
With the 50-inch side-by-side being such an influential vehicle in the side-by-side category, Can-Am took the time that they needed to build a product that they truly believe will captivate their buyers, not only keeping Can-Am consumers, but also enticing other brand riders to come their way.
As we developed the Maverick Trail, we had three key points that we really wanted to showcase with the vehicle. So the first one being agility. So it's a vehicle that's very agile through its sturdy engine and transmission. One of the big stories around the vehicle, it's a longer wheelbase. So the fact that having a longer wheelbase allows for better handling, better stability. And in our research, what we discovered is this was something that's very important for these customers. Also having a suspension that was designed specifically for trail riding. And when you're doing trail riding, you're going in the adventure. So it's about going a day or two of adventure riding with your friends. So we needed to bring some meaningful functionalities into that, such as storage, such as the hitch for towing, trailer. Also needed to integrate things such as comfort, because we brought in our ErgoLock cockpit that we pulled from X3. So the ErgoLock concept is having everything at the right place and also making sure that the passenger and driver feel as they're one with the vehicle. And we made sure to develop this vehicle to be pack ready, because a big part of going the adventure is really making sure that you're able to personalize the vehicle and equip it depending on the type of riding that you're going to do. And then the last of the 3 points is really about confidence. So it's really when the driver is in the vehicle feeling confident. And to do so, well, we brought the X3 Heritage, so there's a bold look to the vehicle. Added some features such as the doors on the 1000 engine model. Also made sure that on a maintenance side that there's no break-in maintenance that to be done before 1 year or 1,800 miles or 3,000 kilometers. So these are all important points that really define it as being confident, but also making sure that if eventually one maintenance needs to be done, everything is really easy to access.
The Maverick Trail is the X3's little brother, so it has features similar, like a longer wheelbase, which allow for the ErgoLock interior, as well as abundant storage space and 2 inches more legroom than the competition.
So the longer wheelbase on the Maverick Trail really allows for better handling and stability, and there's an expression that we use as point and shoot, and really that's when you're driving, you look in one direction, you turn the steering wheel, you give the throttle, and it really brings you where you want to go. And this is where the longer wheelbase and the suspension that was designed for trail riding really deliver on that. And also as you're going through holes or hitting rocks, the longer wheelbase is helping keep a much smoother ride. So the Maverick Trail suspension was really designed specifically to do trail riding. And when you think about it, it's really impressive to see what the engineering and design team have done, because a 50-inch vehicle is just a couple inches wider than an ATV. But the engine is mounted in the rear, so that means that you have much less space to work with. And they were able to package a really compact suspension, but really with no compromise. So the front suspension on the vehicle is a double A-arm with sway bar, and the rear is a torsional trailing arm that was designed for trail and also has sway bar on it. And we made sure to add some big sway bars on it. And what this really does is that minimizes body roll. And in the riding that people have been doing on the vehicle since the launch, they've been really impressed by it. Also, we have bigger shocks than what competitors have. So this allows for better performance and durability. And in the end, what the suspension is designed to do is to deliver optimal ground contact, because when you have good ground contact, then a good longer wheelbase, then that's where you have stability handling, and that's where you can go where you want it to go.
Can-Am is coming out of the gate hot when it comes to accessories, with over 120 available from your Can-Am dealership. And when it comes to engine options, there's 2 that you get to choose from.
So the Maverick Trail is available in 2 engine packages. So our first being the 800, it's a 51 horsepower. It's class leading power-wise. And then we also decided to offer 1000, which is 75 horsepower. And really the customers have a choice. If they just want to do some smooth trail riding, they can go with the 800. And if they want a little bit more power, the 1000 will be able to deliver on that.
While we only touched on the features and benefits of the Maverick Trail, we're going to return to it later this season with a full test ride, where we'll shake it out and run it through its paces right here at World Headquarters.
Closed captioning of Dirt Trax is sponsored by Trident Trailer, built for adventure.
Polaris General has quickly become one of the Dirt Trax TV crew's favorite side-by-sides for a number of reasons, not the least of which is that it's as sporty as it is functional, and it looks pretty darn cool. So why wouldn't you want to share that with as many people as possible? The evolution of the General to the General 4 was not just expected, it just made sense. So today we're here to answer the question, is the 4-seat General as good as the 2-seat General, just including more seats, or does stretching the General to a 4-seat length take away from its overall goodness? Before we go any further, let's take a second to get the technical stuff out of the way. The General 4 is powered by the same 100 horsepower, 1000cc parallel twin-cylinder engine as the standard General. It makes loads of bottom end and pushes even the 4-seater to a top speed of 70+ miles per hour. Suspension is also the same as the 2-seater with double arms up front and out back that produce 12.5 and 13.2 inches of travel. A good-sized tilting cargo bed with a slick single-lever actuated tailgate is again same as the 2-seater. If you were to sit only in the front seats of the General 4, you'd be hard-pressed to tell it wasn't the 2-seat model. The driver compartment is exactly the same with fantastic storage solutions, excellent seats, a nice gauge package, and quite possibly the most legroom in any sporty-ish side-by-side on the market. It's not until you actually turn around and see that there's an entire second row of bucket seats behind you that you can tell there's any difference at all. The chassis of the General 4 has been stretched an incredible 32 inches over the 2-seat model. That's almost 3 feet. The result of this extra length is pretty much exactly what you might expect. The General 4 feels like a long side-by-side. In fact, it feels like the longest side-by-side I've ever driven. It really does require a complete rethink in how you drive it. Getting high-centered is very common. Avoiding obstacles with the back wheels requires driving way past them with the front. You'll oftentimes run at a trail first. Power sliding in a corner needs to be well planned so the rear of the vehicle doesn't slide off the side of the trail into the rhubarb. So yeah, it's long. One look at the vehicle and that's not going to come as any surprise. And yes, that length does come with a few trade-offs. But if you're a backseat passenger, you're definitely going to agree those trade-offs are worth it. So many 4-seat side-by-sides today attempt to jam the backseat passengers into as little space as possible. This is, of course, to try to keep the overall length of the vehicle down. But I ask you this, what's the point in creating a 4-seat vehicle in which the backseat passengers are totally uncomfortable and, oftentimes, unhappy? The General 4 is almost as comfortable in the backseat as it is in the front. There's ample legroom, the seats are great, there's 2 cup holders, a grab handle, there's even a center armrest storage compartment just like up front. In terms of 4-seat side-by-sides, we think the General 4 is among the very best on the market for overall occupant comfort. But there are a few things we do think need attention. This vehicle comes with 4 full doors, and they're some of the slickest doors on the market. They look, feel, and operate just like a car door. The rear doors open backwards but are really nicely made, latch tight, and look great. The only problem is the vehicle-mounted latch point for the rear door sticks out directly into your knee when you exit the vehicle. For a guy like me at 6'1", it's literally right at my kneecap. And it friggin' hurts. If you know to look for it, it becomes a much smaller issue, but we feel like this is something that would be really easy for Polaris to fix. The second thing we think needs attention is the shock package. Our 2-seat limited General last season with Fox QS3s was one of the best riding and most versatile side-by-sides we've ever tested. The 4-seater only comes in one trim level that includes a nice set of Walker Evans shocks, but they're only preload adjustable. On top of that, the compression settings are way too stiff. The ride is unnecessarily harsh. A vehicle that's this classy looking, this upscale, that provides this much rider comfort should absolutely come with an adjustable set of shocks like the Fox QS3s. That would solve the ride problem entirely. The General 4 includes power steering, comes with a nice set of aluminum wheels with Dirt Commander tires, beautifully painted plastics, front bumper, and a 4,500-pound winch. These are all things that add real value. So the bottom line on the General 4 is this. It's fun, functional, capable, comfortable, and cool looking. Yes, it does have a few quirks, but most of them would be relatively easy to fix. Yes, it's as long as a school bus, but if the ultimate comfortable 4-seat side-by-side is what you're after, it's totally worth it. In our opinion, this is one of the very best 4-seat recreational side-by-sides this industry has to offer.
Dirt Trax Television has been sponsored by Polaris, the world leader in off-road innovation, Can-Am, the ride says it all, and by Textron Off Road, driven by the bold.
Thanks for watching this latest segment of Dirt Trax TV. For more awesome content, feel free to click any of the links on the screen or subscribe to our YouTube page, where we update daily with great content on a weekly basis.